he has, he had records, he was a bad kid, da 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 da. All that, you are not able to to judge a person when they're just walking past you. You can't know, hey, that person has a record, or has a criminal record, has done this, done that, blah, blah, blah. You won't know that by just seeing somebody walk past you.
Hello world, my name is Tristan.
My name is Kimmy.
And you're now listening to Join
the Conversation Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Join the Conversation Podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Tristan.
My name is Kimmy.
And before we jump into this week's topic, here's a quick recap from the last episode. But I'm saying, like, for a guy who may have been raped by an older woman.
Oh, I get what you're going at.
Like, sometimes, like you can't go to your homies and be like, man, yo, this girl raped me, dog.
Yeah, because it would have been like, what? What are you talking about?
And be like, bruh, you got something from an older woman? Were you tripping?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like hard for a guy to like, and a lot of times, like, you would be manipulated to believe like, oh, this is fine, this is okay, like, I'm a man, woo. But when in all reality, it's wrong. Like, you shouldn't be 9 years old and a 30-year-old taking advantage of you. This week's episode is a very special topic that we originally wanted to wait before putting together and releasing. This week's episode is going to be based on the case of Trayvon Martin we've decided to push this forward, of course, if you don't know, and sleeping on the rock, because of George Zimmerman has recently filed to sue Trayvon's parents for $100 million. I forgot what quote unquote his reasoning, but so yeah, we basically decided to, because of that, we're decided to record this episode. We originally wanted to wait until the anniversary roll around to bring up this topic, but he made headlines this week trying to sue his parents and a whole bunch of other foolishness, but we're gonna just jump right into this topic this week. So I guess our main question for you all this week is, how do you feel about the case overall? Do you think that George Zimmerman should have went to jail, or did he deserve to be free? If that makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
That question makes sense. All right, question makes sense. So that's our question for y'all for this week. You ready?
Yeah.
We'll just get into it. Our opinions on it.
Well, personally, I feel like it's ridiculous that he's trying to sue, because the whole situation was basically his fault. Like, I get it. I actually don't get it. He went after the boy. First off, our friend Nijuan had posted the article himself and shared it on his Facebook. And some man, when you share a Facebook post out there, people comment, yada, yada, yada. But he basically said that Trayvon Martin deserved what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
Who deserves that? Nobody deserves to be killed just because he was walking. And the man's excuse was, oh, he has, he had records, he was a bad kid, da 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 da. All that, you are not able to to judge a person when they're just walking past you. You can't know, hey, that person has a record, or has a criminal record, has done this, done that, blah, blah, blah. You won't know that by just seeing somebody walk past you.
Yeah. First off, I agree, 100% agree with you on that. To pick apart something you said, and the same thing I comment to that guy was, Trayvon didn't have any record. First off, to clear that up, people keep saying he had a record, whatever. He didn't have any record. He was never locked up, went to jail for anything. the most that he did, and that I did my research on, because I didn't know the extent of the trial. I just knew the main details of the trial and of what happened, and I'm gonna get to that in a second to pick that apart. And but the most that Trayvon had was that he got kicked out of school. Well, he was I don't know. I ain't gonna say. I don't think he was kicked out of school, but he was
suspended
he
because
was suspended
he kept
from
skipping school.
Yeah, basically that. And the only other thing. Now, this is the only other thing that happened with him. All right, well, that's one thing.
He got in a couple fights as well. I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember that. I don't remember it. It might be. I don't remember. I have to look back at that.
But
I don't think so, though. I don't remember that.
Regardless.
I remember the whole thing with school. The other thing was smoking weed. And then I'm going to jump over that in a second, too. And then the other thing that I remember seeing was about I don't know if it was school or whoever, he was found with quote unquote burglary tools, allegedly found with burglary tools, which by the way was a flathead screwdriver and some women's jewelry on him. Now, for the women's jewelry, we don't know.
I get the suspicion there, but still.
He didn't go to jail for that. Nobody knows why he had women's jewelry on him. Whatever. All right. But
it was
just
all
because
alleged.
you got a flathead screwdriver on you, don't mean you out here breaking into somebody's stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have been fixing something, whatever. I don't know. But nobody knows. So and I'm trying to surround this episode around that comment that man made on one of our friends' posts. But at the same time, I guess you can't surround it by that because that really started a discussion between us, and he kind of had me a little.
He was very, very tight, heated. We were at dinner, and literally he couldn't even eat. He was just he ate some, but like just to even see that comment is ridiculous. For that to come out of his mouth is very sad, because nobody deserves that. First off,
for him to just flat out say he deserved that.
Yeah, and my thing is, he brought the whole race thing in it when. Yes, race pretty much probably, most 100%, probably had something to do with the, situation. But Trayvon Martin was just a kid. He wasn't doing anything hostile. And the whole weed thing, go back to that. Smoking weed does not make a person hostile. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Weed is supposed to calm your nerves down, calm your muscles down.
It relaxes you.
Yeah, it's relaxing. Alcohol is what pretty much, turns into a person becomes hostile because of alcohol. But yeah, that's legal. Anyways, that's a whole different topic.
Granted, but even though that was back then, and the whole situation surrounding weed is different now, where they're pushing to legalize it more. It's already legal in California and Colorado.
The effects of it was still the same, though.
Yeah, but overall, like, I hate that people. That's another thing that I see people keep picking apart, is that he smoked weed or whatever. First off, majority of people in this world smoke weed. Your mama done smoked weed before. Your grandma done smoked weed before. Everybody probably done smoked a little bit of weed before. It is okay. There's it's not proven. There's no, how I put it, I don't think there's no harmful side effects to it. I mean, I know you could develop things like cancer, lung cancer, stuff like that. But as far as
there's probably like health conditions behind it. But for a person to become
respiratory stuff, but hostile or things like that, or to try to paint this picture that weed is bad for you, yeah, it's not.
The thing is, him smoking weed had nothing to do with the situation.
Yeah,
period.
That's another thing.
So why bring it up?
Yeah.
Because you're trying to basically just defamate his character, pretty much. That's all you're doing, because you stating that has nothing to do. Is that the word? Is that what you're looking up?
No, go ahead.
Is it the word?
Go ahead.
Basically, let me stop, because that might not be the word. What is the defamation of character?
Go ahead. I ain't saying nothing.
Defamate is a word, right?
I ain't saying nothing.
All right,
right.
what does defamate mean? Did I say it right?
You're right.
No, I'm scared. I want to sound
All right, anyway,
stupid.
you're not gonna go ahead.
But basically, that's you just ruining his character rather than, stating facts on what actually happened. Because all that extra stuff that he did in the past, yeah, he's a kid. Kids make mistakes. Gotcha. But still, that has absolutely nothing to do with what happened. George Zimmerman had absolutely no right to go out of his car and pretty much attack this kid.
Hold on. Don't go too far.
Sorry.
I'm
hot.
Got a jacket on, but I want to I want to not go too deep in yet. I want us to, with our listeners, pick apart the case. So if everybody confused,
I'm not 100% sure about the case though. Not like that.
No. Wait, just hold on. If anybody's confused, I don't know about you, but for me, George Zimmerman is supposed to be in jail. He was not supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
I just want that to be clear for anybody who, that's our opinion. Y'all have title to your opinions. We love to hear your opinions, share your opinions. That's what this whole podcast is about, is being able to talk about these topics and, just have a conversation, y'all get it.
But don't start attacking each other, though.
Hold on. Yeah, of course. Do not, of course, that's, if you, can we delete comments and stuff like that? Ban somebody? I don't know. But if you hard down arguing with somebody over their opinion, yeah, you defeating the purpose of this podcast. So please don't do that. Just, be civil with a person. There's nothing wrong with having a friendly conversation. I understand that conversation get hot, but take a minute, step to the side, take a breather, and come back, and you can respond to somebody. But all right. Before we go too deep, I want us, with you all, to pick apart the case a little bit, or pick apart things that it's not even in depth of the case. I ain't gonna say pick apart the whole, the case, because that sounds like the whole thing, but some details and stuff that we've seen and realized that we feel like should have been enough for George Zimmerman to basically go to jail for, and we would like to hear you guys or you all response to some of these things. So for one, we can talk about the police audio where George Zimmerman called in, right? And he said, hey, he said, I see someone suspicious. I've been, basically, I don't know if he just said he was following them, but I see someone suspicious, I'm following them, whatever. And the dispatcher told him, okay, we're sending somebody out. Do not engage him. Basically stop following him. Mm-hmm. We're sending somebody out. All right.
Can you locate that online?
It's online. It's on YouTube. So we'll put that in the description as well for anybody who's confused about that, so they can listen to it, because I remember that. I remember that specifically. So that's one. That's one thing, and a part of that is, that's one thing. I'm just leave it at that, and we'll go to the next thing. But that's one thing. So to pick apart that, how can you? Obviously, everyone knows from there he decided to basically not listen to the dispatcher and decide to confront Trayvon anyway, or follow him anyway. So that alone, I feel like it turned into murder. So, you have your different, you got your manslaughter, premeditated murder, So I feel like it went from premeditated murder to murder, because once the dispatcher told him, we're sending somebody out, don't, basically go about your business, and he decided to confront Trayvon anyway, take the law in his own hands, basically. How that alone, to me, he should have been in jail, because at that point he decided to take the law in his own hand. He's a neighborhood watch. He's not the police. He's not, he's just a neighborhood watch. He watched something, and then he decided to go and, decided to do what he did, and what led to the death of Trayvon, of course. But I just don't understand how that alone seemed to just slip out. Like I don't know. I didn't watch the case. I didn't watch the trial, but or at least if I did, I don't remember it because it's a long time ago. But and I'm definitely gonna go back to rewatch the trial. But I wonder if that was even brought up in the trial. Like if that was brought up in the trial, I feel like that alone, he should have been locked up off of that or went to jail off of that because
that's not it. That's like somebody saying, "Oh, that guy looks suspicious. Let me go after him." No, you already called the police, and the police told you to chill out, don't do anything. But yet you literally took matter into your own hands, went after the kid, and killed him after being told to chill out. But you couldn't. Why? Bet you can't. He probably can't explain himself. I know.
He couldn't. I know he wouldn't be able to. But the second thing with that is, people keep saying how George Zimmerman was only defending himself. I'm gonna explain a scenario to y'all, right? And I want y'all to tell me something, right? So let's say, picture yourself just walking down the street, right? About 7, 8 o'clock at night. It's evening time. It's starting to get a little dark. Not too dark, but you're just walking, right? And you see somebody, you notice somebody following you, right? And they get out of their car and they approach you. What is your initial reaction? Are you gonna be, I don't know what led to the fight ultimately, but are you gonna be worried, or are you just gonna be like whatever? Because for me, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, if I notice somebody follow me and then they come and approach me, my mindset is to protect myself and defend myself. I don't understand how people saying George Zimmerman was
the one protecting himself
in self-defense when he approached Trayvon and they got into a scuffle. And supposedly, from what people were explaining, basically George Zimmerman was getting the works. He was getting the hands. And
that's his fault. You
that was his fault. You can't. There's just too much going on in the world for anyone to just excuse that. And I feel like they only excuse it because Trayvon is black, to be honest. Because if this would have happened to, and not trying to turn this into a race thing, but if this would have happened to, let's be honest, a white person, this would not be the same scenario right now. It would not be the same story right now. Sorry about that. We had a pause in the recording because one of our roommates came in. But we basically left off talking about how people are using the defense of saying George Zimmerman was defending himself, and we was just picking apart that, talking about how could people claim self-defense for him but not see any type of self-defense for Trayvon, and the thing is, it's it's like the old saying, for every action there's a reaction. George Zimmerman's action was to ignore the police dispatcher, take the law in his own hand, being Mr. Neighborhood Hero, and approaching somebody, and basically at 7, 8 at night when it's starting to get dark, approaching somebody, and the reaction of that was he caught the beat down. Because
honestly, if somebody just pulls up on you randomly and pretty much you had the knowledge, someone's following me, your guard will go up.
And I don't know. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. I ain't meant to cut you off, but I was getting ready to say, and I don't know what type of area they was living in. It's a low income area. Like what some folks like to call the ghetto, the hood, whatever you want to call it, whatever. A low income area. I'm gonna call it that to sound better.
Just an area where it's not like there's a higher crime.
Yeah, a higher crime. I don't know about people who, what type of area. But I'm stuttering. I'm getting tongue-tied. I don't know what kind of area it was. But if you're a person that come from an environment like that, you're right. An area that you could say is high on crime or a low income area, you don't do that around no area like that. You don't just roll up on somebody and, hey, what are you doing around here? You bound to get shot or beat down because too much stuff is happening out here. You got to be on your P's and Q's, and you can't take no chances. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, but if I was in that scenario, I probably would have did the same thing, or because I don't know him. You approaching me. Best thing I'm gonna try to do is defend myself at that point, because I don't know you. It's the middle of the dark. I'm out here by myself. I'm walking. Not doing nothing wrong, minding my business. Just came from the store and you approach me.
Didn't you get like a pack of Skittles or something?
Yeah, he got some Skittles, and I'm instantly going into defense mode. So I'm gonna defend myself, and my best bet is to hurt you before you potentially hurt me, because I don't know you. So
it might think you were following him. I don't know how long he was following him, but he would have noticed. Trayvon would have noticed, like, someone in a car was following him. And my thing is, too, I didn't know this might not have anything to do with it, but human trafficking. Human trafficking is an issue. I don't know if it was big back then, but it's an issue. And, you can't, the point is, you can't just pull up on somebody when they're just chilling, walking, minding their own business. You can't mind your own business. Just because you think they're a threat. First off, what was the threat that he felt, What was Trayvon doing that George Zimmerman felt like was a threat?
Especially, what did you feel was a threat being inside of a vehicle?
Yes.
Getting out of your vehicle, going to that person.
You put yourself in that threat.
You put yourself in that situation.
So, how was this all self-defense? You cannot say this was self-defense at all whatsoever on his part. I just don't understand it. Like, no, the kid wasn't a saint. Nobody's a saint.
He made mistakes,
He's a child.
He was a kid. He was, literally. Like, granted, I don't know. He might be in. Let me see. Actually, go ahead. What you were saying. I want to look up something real quick.
The point is, you can't just do that. And another thing, there's just so many aspects of this thing. But for him to sue, I want you to look up that too. Like, what is he suing for?
Okay, so
what?
Trayvon is 2 years older than me. He was born in 95. I'm born in 97. So, and he died. What age was he when he died? He died at the age of 17. So he's still a kid. I can say he was a,
He's a kid.
I can say he's a kid because I'm now 22, getting ready to be 23, still living.
Oh, this is a long time ago.
And once you're deceased, whatever age you died at, basically that's the age you died at.
Yeah.
So he was a kid. I can
Your
say
life
that.
stopped.
He was a kid, and any kid, no kid at the time is perfect. You can say nobody's perfect, first off, but kids go through a lot. They make bad decisions and they make poor choices. And obviously, he was going through some things. Trying to, I guess you could say, going through a path of trying to figure out himself. And I feel like people are trying to destroy his character or destroy who he is, not knowing him first off, but just basing off of the small little things that they're hearing and saying that he's a criminal, he's this, he's that. And I feel like it's a load of
boo boo.
Yeah, it's you can't do that personally.
You can't,
because you're basically judging somebody and you don't know them first off.
No.
And on top of that, like, how can you judge someone and if you look at yourself, you're not a saint. Nobody's picture perfect. So I'm sure you did some stupid stuff when you was if you was a kid, as when you was a kid. So go ahead, though. My bad. And I'm gonna look that up while you do that.
It's just, first off, the boy is gone. So he can't protect his image anymore. And people are still out here trying to defend his killer, where his killer is in the wrong. So there's absolutely no reason why he should be suing. And first off, the amount he is suing for is absurd.
Yes.
He's definitely, I would be so amazed if he got that amount of money. And if he wins this case, whatever he's trying to do, if he wins
there's no way.
If there's a way, then something's corrupt. Something is wrong, because he shouldn't even be out.
First off, speaking of that, his attorney that's on the case helping him
Oh,
file these
yeah.
things. I watched something recently, and they was talking about how this guy, he was banned from going into courtrooms. He's known for basically trying to I forgot what, but basically trying to build a case to cases against black people, basically, or something along those lines like that. I don't put it that way, but it was something like that.
He's just a corrupt attorney.
He's a crook, basically, you might say.
And for him to be, something is psychologically wrong with you, dude.
No.
For you to just even, like, I don't know. You see a lot of kids nowadays, how they dress, whatever. They may look like a thug. They might, Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you cannot sit in your car and see somebody walking late at night, minding their own business. Oh, I'm going to call the police. I think he's a threat. And then, the police told me I need to stay in my car. I'm not going to stay in my car. I'm going to go handle it myself. No. Something is wrong with you, or you are after something for you to do that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of, I just thought about something else that I watched. Apparently, there was a former co-worker of George Zimmerman who talked to the police, and they were saying they spoke on how Zimmerman had basically made a racist joke. Was making a racist joke or something like that during their time at work or something about that guy. I guess I don't know what his race was, but I remember seeing that. So, could this been a race thing?
It's a question up in the air.
It's a possibility, because I just don't understand, like, what's wrong with wearing a hoodie? And ever since that happened, you can't go into anywhere with a hoodie on.
Mm-mm.
I get that most robbers kind of have a hoodie on, throw their hoodie on to rob. I get that. I mean,
if it was
for
cold,
people who don't live in a high crime rate or low income area, you don't know nothing about that. But
yeah,
at the same time,
they don't even let kids wear hoodies at school anymore.
Yeah, but all of this happened because of that. But at the same time, how you wear your clothes is how you wear your clothes. Nobody can't tell you, oh, you can't,
Yeah.
But since, so for people to try to pick, I don't know, man. For Zimmerman to even think, oh, he got a hoodie on, he's doing something wrong.
It's ridiculous.
It's stupid.
That's stereotype right there.
Yeah.
Straight up. Man, this can all go along with another issue. I don't know if you had wanted to combine that. But another issue with the lady.
This kind of could be a separate. That can be separate.
All right.
That could be, what would we, I mean, well, you know what? We can put it together.
Because he's not because George Zimmerman isn't a police, is he?
No.
Okay.
So, we already basically done cooked George Zimmerman. We're going to jump into this other situation, which is a recent thing, and it was the case of Amber Guyger.
I don't know
something
her
like
name.
that, but
Amber.
Forget Zimmerman. Don't
dumb. Forget Zimmerman.
It's dumb for you to be suing years later to sue, trying to collect $100 million. Like, come on, man. Like, and then on top of that, another thing that just popped in my mind: he sold the gun that he killed Trayvon with.
Oh, that is so suspicious.
That is. I ain't even gonna get into that.
Why would you sell the gun you just murdered somebody with?
Sick. That's sick.
That's oh my god.
It's about money at that point.
Yeah.
It's about money.
Oh yeah. And you have to question his character for him to do that.
Yeah, like, why would you do that? Like, first off, who would want to buy that gun?
They probably don't know.
Yeah, they knew.
I don't know.
It was all over.
Yeah. But my thing is, his character, something's wrong with his whole being. I don't know. He aggravates me.
So we also was talking about so we can title this the case.
This is just a lot of issues. Pretty much the innocent, or basically the guilty, trying to claim they're not guilty, when it's point blank period. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to make sense now, but the point is, basically, you're guilty.
I'm getting hot.
you're guilty, and there's a lot of proofs behind that you're guilty, and you cannot talk your way out of it.
Like, we know we not lawyers, we not,
No.
we not none of that.
And we don't know everything.
Yeah, we don't know everything. But for a common person, if I come to you and say, yeah, I followed this guy. Well, if I come to you and have this conversation with you and say, and explain this to you, like, we having a conversation, and I explain this to you, like, all right, he called 911, said he seen someone suspicious. They told him back off, basically. We sending somebody out. He decides, nah, I got it. I'm going to do it. I'm the neighborhood watch. He decides to approach the person, to get in a scuffle, and shoot the person. How can you look me in my face and tell me, oh, Trayvon was wrong? How can you tell? How can you sit in my face, or how can you look somebody in the eyes and explain to them how a person that was being followed and approached was in the wrong? I don't understand. Like,
I don't understand.
How can you explain, or I don't know what happened in that course. I don't even know. I'm not, like we said, we're not no lawyer, we're not none of that. But
and we're not professionals.
But that just simple thing, like how can that alone? How can you look somebody in the face and say, "Oh yeah, they ain't guilty," or the judge, not guilty? How? That alone he should have did some time behind it. I don't care, but not to just flat out be not guilty. Come on, man. But the other case is the whole case on Amber Guyger. Now it's not funny, but it's funny at the same time, and I'm gonna explain what I mean this. So there was, I guess, a Facebook group originally with not trying to turn this to a race thing. No, I'm about to say a race thing, but there was, I guess, there was a group on Facebook where it was a bunch of white people in it talking some regular stuff, and I guess the admin added a black person, and that black person added a bunch of people, right? And he went in and was going off, and inside of that group, it was a lot of racist stuff being said that prior, that I guess white people was conversating in the group, and the admin messed up and let the wrong person there. Basically.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Him stating all this stuff does not make him. He's not saying every white person's racist. By the way,
definitely not. I absolutely love my white people. Absolutely. Hey.
We don't look at race, or we don't look at color that way. No. We don't judge people according to their color.
I F with everybody. Like, man, I know some cool Hispanics. I know, hey, man, I don't want to get off topic because I was about to tell my dream of living in a white neighborhood.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
All right, so just to lighten the mood, I know a lot of people probably hot. In the future, I want to live in I originally said
he says this every single time we drive through neighborhoods.
But I'm going to say I want the neighborhood to be diverse, like Hispanics, whites, everybody.
No, say what you usually say.
All right, so I originally said I want to live in I was making a joke, but this is low key. I wouldn't mind doing this. Live in an all white neighborhood, and when you're the only black person in the neighborhood, you got to be loud. You got to have the cookout. So I'm gonna come outside, no shirt on. I see my neighbor. What up, man? We have a cookout. Come on over. We got some beers. We can have some fun. I want to do that. I want to do that one day.
That is something he literally says every single time we drive through neighborhoods that look really nice.
Fool, but they know how to party. I ain't going to. We ain't about that. I ain't gonna. They start pulling out, the bombs and stuff. Y'all by yourself and jumping off stuff. Y'all by yourself for that. But white people know how to party.
But yeah, the point is, he's stating all this stuff. That doesn't mean he's, against white people or anything. We don't look at color that way. Nah. But continue on.
You are who you are.
Yep.
We on this planet together, no matter what. So we stuck on this planet together. We gonna see each other for years and years and years. So you better might as well say, forget it. Why we being racist? Why is there a race thing? Let's love each other. But I forgot what I was about to say. What was I about to? Dang, I forgot.
The group chat.
Oh,
the Facebook
group chat.
group.
I'll just talk about group chat. So, basically, yeah, it was just I'm sure other people who's listening probably know about this group chat or the whole.
I didn't know about it until you said something.
It was absolutely funny, but I don't even know where I was going with it. But I lost myself on what the train of thought was to lighten the mood. But back to the situation with Miss Amber Guyger, she got 10 years. Personally,
she deserves way more than that.
That wasn't enough time. And in the group chat, basically they was defending her, like I said, saying a bunch of racist stuff.
BS.
let's pick apart this. And this is a lot of people been talking about this, but I want to pick apart some things with her case. Well, first off, during her hearing. So one issue was at one point, well, at the end, basically the judge hugged her, the bailiff was fixing her hair, and people was just absolutely talking about how never, basically, I ain't gonna say nobody knows, but never, are we gonna say never, I'm gonna say because I don't know, like I said, but never in the history of a situation like that with a pending criminal or whatever, that a judge hugs them and the bailiff fixes their hair, makes them look nice and stuff like that. And them doing that, honestly, I feel like that kind of was a slap in the face of
to the
America.
Parents
And to the parents.
Sorry.
Not only the parents, I'm gonna say America, the parents, and not to make this a race thing, but also the black community, to be honest. Because let's break this down. Because I feel like she should have got at least 25. 25 years.
However much murder is.
About 25 years. So let's break this down together, y'all. Judge Grimes is in full effect. I can't say judge. Lawyer Grimes is in full effect. All right, hear me out. So everybody close your eyes and let's just visualize this, right? So let's say, coming home, you live at an apartment, you're coming home from work, you hop out. Mind you, let me pause real quick. She lived on the 3rd floor and he lived on the 4th floor. So let's think about this. How crazy this sounds. So if you know the case, basically, I'm gonna run through it real quick. She basically went to his apartment thinking it was hers.
BS.
The lights, she said the lights was dim, the door was ajar. She went in and basically she shot him. It'll end it like that. All right. So let's close your eyes and just imagine. Just imagine how crazy this sounds. Imagine you. First off, if you live on the 3rd or 4th floor like that, it's kind of like one of those. I don't know how where y'all cities like, but here in Charleston, we only have like one super, like the nice hotel apartments, kind of. Well, I consider them nice. I come from that, so I consider them nice. But they're like the apartments that have the long hallway, the elevators. Gotta get on an elevator or hit the stairs.
We've only seen one apartment place that has elevators.
Yeah, but most of the times you got a 3rd, 4th floor, and you're not about to make nobody walk up them stairs unless you got to have an elevator. But all right, so just assuming that. But so picture you coming home, whatever, and we don't know what she'd use. So you could use the elevator or the stairs. So we're gonna put
elevators.
Yeah, if they had elevators, we don't know. I don't know, but we're gonna put the mindset in both. So let's start off with the elevator. Imagine you getting on the elevator, right? Looking at the buttons and pressing, knowing you live on the 3rd floor, but pressing the 4th floor, right?
If you did, you had to be intoxicated.
You gotta be intoxicated because this is crazy. I want y'all to hear this out, right? Just visualize this. So you hit the 4th floor. Let's say even if it was an accident, you decide
you still go down.
No. Let me get to it. Let me get to it because I want to pick this apart. I'm waiting on this. So let's say it's an accident, you miss it, hit the 4th floor. Because that happens. Sometimes you hit the wrong floor.
Mm-hmm.
So
Then you hit
go
the
up
button.
to the 4th floor, right? Ding, the door open up, you step off. All right. So here's a quick question. While y'all visualize, keep visualizing this. Most of the time, if you're on the wrong floor, right? And if you just turn, 2 steps, and you look down the hall, you're bound to see something that's off, right? You're bound to see like, okay, so something's gonna be off that's gonna make you be like, hold on, is this my flow? Like, this person ain't got this trash can outside their door, or my neighbor ain't got these lights on their door. I just been here this morning.
Basically, what he's saying, every floor probably has like a unique set of doors where, like, how people hang stuff out outside their apartments, their door, mats,
like,
stuff like that.
So yeah, basically that's what I'm getting at. Most of the time, if you look down that hallway, you're gonna be like, hold up, something wrong. This ain't my flow. All right, you're gonna be like, all right, boom, let me get back on the elevator. I'm on the wrong floor. But that ain't happened. This, I'm sorry, I ain't meant to laugh, but it sounds so stupid.
That's the same thing with stairs.
Yeah, all right. It just sounds so stupid, and this is basically what happened with her. So, boom, let's pause there. let's
Sorry.
pause. Let's say take yourself out your body and leave yourself there and reverse and hit the reverse button. You leave your body up there. Now you two bodies and reverse yourself where you back downstairs.
What are you talking about?
Shut up. I got it. And you back downstairs, all right? So we're starting over basically. But your other piece of your body is up there, right? Because it's the elevator person. It's the elevator man. Now you the stairs man. All right. So imagine you walking up the stairs. Going upstairs. And, normally when you going up the stairs, your knee, your legs, your quads start burning. You like, man, all right, I'm almost there. It's something about when you're going upstairs, you want to make sure that you don't miss where you got to get off at, because if you got to go down, it's going to be a problem. It's easy to go down, but, it's just going to be a problem.
So waste of time.
You're going to want to give up. So imagine you walking up the stairs. Each stairway you go up, even if you ain't even got to look, you can count the stairs, unless you can't count. But most stairways you go up, there's, whether right by the door it says 3rd floor, 4th floor, 5th floor, 1st floor, 2nd floor, whatever. So
it doesn't even have to say that. Most of the time, the apartment numbers are like 100, 300, 200.
No, I'm gonna get to that too. That's good. That's a different. All right, that's something else I meant. So let's say you. So picture yourself walking up. And you go past your floor, which is the 3rd, and you go on up to the 4th floor. You look dead at the number. You maybe or you count the steps and you just pop out on the hallway. You look down the hall. Once again, you look down that hallway, you're gonna realize, okay, hold up. This person ain't got this. This ain't by my door. This not my mat. I'm on the wrong floor. Mm-hmm. That ain't what happened with her. All right, now your stair person and your elevator person on the same hallway, put them together. All right, fast, proceed. So she goes to the door. I said door, my bad. She goes to the door, and she said it was ajar. So immediately she's like, okay, I get it. You walk up to, well, I don't get it, but imagine, you go up to the door and you see the door is ajar. And if it is your door, you're going to be like, okay, I know I ain't left my door like this. And if you ain't got kids or your wife or something, if you basically live by yourself, I don't know her situation, but if you live by yourself, you're going to be like, all right, something wrong, somebody here.
Yeah. But
let's take into mindset, picture yourself as a police officer. Most of the time, especially if it's a female, or even males do it too, if they get to us, a door that's like that, it's instantly, or if she would have got up there and got to her door, it's instantly, okay, somebody got to be in my house. I'm calling backup. She didn't do that, I guess. I don't think she did it. So she proceeded and went inside, said the lights was off. All right. Most of the time, I never seen an apartment like this, but most of the time, as soon as you walk in that door, 2 steps, there's a light switch right by, the wall where you can cut the light on, right? So she said it was, it was darkened. She couldn't see. I guess she didn't flip the light switch on, but anyway, even being inside, you take those 2 steps, depending on how your place is set up, you're bound to see something that's off, You're bound to see, okay, I don't have my cabinet area or kitchen is not set up like this, or my living room don't look like this, or the pictures, this house got pictures on the walls, but I don't. So, but I'm going in anyway. It's my house. But anyway, I don't have pictures on this wall. You bound to see something that's off. But she didn't see anything that was off. She thought she was on her floor. How? We ain't gonna get into that. I'm just picking this apart. I want y'all to think about this. All right. And from there, it led to her killing and shooting him. But another thing with all of this. So let's all backtrack, right? Let's picture ourselves on the elevator or going up the stairs. Or let's pick, no. Just before that, picture yourself at the door. Most of the time at an apartment, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Most of the time at an apartment, depending on the floor, that's the number of that hallway. All right. So if you live on the 3rd floor, you normally have your 300s. Door 301, 302, whatever. On your 4th floor, door 401, 402. I don't understand how. So with that being said, I don't understand how did she go to the right door, looked at it, and said, lives on the 3rd floor, but look at it and said, oh, 40 whatever. Oh, this is my place. She had to be, there's no way she had to be intoxicated. If she wasn't intoxicated, she had to be
She had to be on
high
something.
or something. She had to be something had to be
Something
off
to where her head wasn't right.
something had to be off because with that being said, how do you go to not only the wrong floor, look down the hallway and say, oh, this look familiar, this right. Go to the door and look at the number 401. Yeah, this right. Go in the house. Normally there's a light switch, right? We're gonna say she didn't turn on the light switch right by the door. Okay, but peek in, walk in, and not see anything that doesn't look like your place. Explain that to me on how does that happen?
Doesn't.
Give me how does that happen?
It doesn't.
How?
You had to have been after that person.
You had to be absolutely after that person. You can't sit. If you're a person that's trying to justify on how, if you're right now trying to come up with coming up with the story of how that happened, stop. Because you're not about to come up with no story that makes it, what's going to make that make sense. Because it doesn't make sense.
If you do come up with a story, please feel free.
Please comment please comment on how you can make that make sense, because there is absolutely no way none of that makes sense of how that can happen. So for poor people, because she's an officer, and we have the race thing. There's a really race thing between the police and black people. We already know that, but for her to just go through all of those steps and not at one point realize it was her house.
Something wrong with her.
Something wrong, and there's no way you can justify on how that can possibly happen. Besides being intoxicated, that's the only way. Besides being intoxicated, that's the only way you can explain that. But
she didn't even say all that.
And not even that, like I said, most of the time you call for backup. There's procedures. So I'm assuming she didn't call for backup. And not only that, when she approached in the house and she, I guess, seen him, I guess she was sitting on the couch or laying down, I forgot, but and she draw her gun, there are still procedures there. She should have said, put your hand up, lay down on the floor.
Made herself known.
Even though you're going in a dark house, I get it. But once she spot him, she should have,
Yeah. So she was in her uniform and stuff, right?
Yeah. Should have had a gun raised. I get to have the gun raised, but, basically make the person lay down on the floor, find the light switch. If it's your house, you know where the light switch is. Turn the light switch on.
First off, why did you not turn the lights on?
Oh, my
why?
goodness. We don't. No, nobody. You can't make this make. You can't.
Amber, why did you not turn the lights on?
You can't make this make sense, dog. And not only that, I looked yesterday and found out that she's trying to get her lawyer, I think, to basically create her new trial. What she want? More years or something? Cause
she want more.
But
then what can you do? What can you say?
There's procedures there. She could have cut the light on.
I'm sorry.
Figure out who he was. She went in with the intentions to kill. There's no way you can't say that. She went in and shot. Instead of following procedures, there's police procedures, right? Everybody want to,
Mm-hmm. And she was in her uniform, so it wasn't like her saying those procedures didn't really, correlate to... She wasn't in her civilian clothing.
He was unarmed. Oh, wait.
The man was chilling in his house.
What can someone make the excuse of that? It was dark, so she couldn't see if he was armed or unarmed.
Turn the light on.
Anyway,
Turn the light on.
It's your house, right?
Home.
It's your home. Most of the time, when you walk in the door, there's a light switch right there, but... I don't know.
Regardless, as soon as you walk into your house, the first instinct is most likely to go turn the lights on. So, why did you not turn your lights on? What is wrong with you? Something is deeply wrong with you. The door is ajar, so... Okay, regardless, your first thought is to turn on the lights. If it's not, what was your first instinct then? Draw your gun?
Your first instinct should be to make sure you're on the right floor. That's the first instinct. Like, okay, hallway don't look familiar.
First off, that should be given.
What hallway looks exactly like the next hallway? That's what I want to know. Did everybody plan this to have a twin day or something? Like the whole building decide, let's have a twin
Unless
building.
nobody had something, outside their apartment that made it
the door
unique.
just being naked.
But still, the numbers, the numbers on the doors, the numbers on the sides, something makes it to where you know where you're going. You had to have looked at the apartment number, because I get it. We become accustomed to, routines. But if she was accustomed to her routines, she wouldn't have made that, that, what's it called? That mix up. Unless she was intoxicated.
That's the only way. She had to be.
That is the only reason I can think of behind all this. Regardless, even if she was intoxicated, she should still go to jail.
She shouldn't be in her uniform first off.
She should not be in her uniform. It's just, there's so many things going on within this whole issue that there's no getting out of it.
Yeah.
And if she does get out of it, like George Zimmerman, if he gets out of that, if both of them gets out of this, which they can't, something's wrong. Something has to be wrong.
So, I don't know, man. And people hate, people try to down the race thing in America between blacks in America.
Race is still...
But, yes, absolutely. Racism still exists. You can't say you never experienced, seen this or, read something on Facebook and realized, okay, this person just said something racist. You can't say that. And not only that, if you turn a blind eye to all of this stuff that's going on, that magically cops are killing blacks, or blacks just getting out here getting killed, and you don't see it as and understand it as a race thing. Like, there's been multiple shootings of cops killing a black person, and you don't think there's something that you just think all of them are coincidental. You know what I'm saying? Cool. I can't pronounce the word right now. My mouth dry, but. If you just think all of them just seem to happen, you're turning a blind eye. You're absolutely turning a blind eye.
No, racism is still an issue. No, it's not as big as before, but you can't just, like you said, you can't just look to the side and say, "Oh, it's a little bit better now. We're fine."
When it comes to black, it's probably bigger. It's probably bigger, and what I mean by that is back then it was slavery. Now there was slavery. Now I don't know about police, but back then was slavery. I'm gonna just put it that way. It's slavery. Nowadays it's police. It's all type of stuff, man. It's all type of stuff. But I would say it's bigger now compared to back then.
I don't know,
because back then they didn't. They were slaves. They didn't have no rights. Nowadays it's you got rights, but you don't got rights. Well, you can't be no slavery no more, but we create this jailhouse just for you. Or police, we got the police, and we're gonna frame you and shoot you. And you seem suspicious, we're gonna shoot you. Or you breathed, I'm gonna shoot you. Or it's a whole lot of stuff. Or we're gonna traffic, we're gonna kidnap your kids, and we're just gonna pull up on different blocks and kidnap kids, little black kids and other kids, and it's just so much now that's going on. Yeah.
I think people are just more effed up in the head now, and the access to things is a little bit easier now. That people are losing their minds because they have access to all these things, and this is stuff like that. People are losing their minds. Like, no, I'm not disregarding the whole race thing at all. But
I understand. I know.
I can't speak on that because I'm not that. I'm just Asian. But the thing is, like, it's there, and people need to understand that it's an issue and something needs to happen. Because at this point, that shouldn't be a thing. Like he said, we're all in this world together. There's nothing we can do about it.
It seems like it's not. It clicked in my brain that we're in this world, and regardless.
All you can
years from
do.
now, it's going to be blacks, whites, Hispanics.
Nothing's going to change.
Nothing's going to change.
You cannot exterminate a whole entire race.
There's no way. You could try, but
but there's no way you could do that. But so why not just accept everybody for who they are? Why? It's not that difficult. If it is for you, you need to say he's a psychologist. If it's not easy for you.
Give me about 2 years, I'm going to have my degree. Come on to me.
It's just annoying.
I ain't going to judge. We're just going to have a conversation.
I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I'm gonna judge you. I'm gonna judge you and be like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Because I don't know. You know, my philosophy is everybody got a background, and maybe something happened in their lives that they're the way they are. But
okay, let me say that racism is taught.
Yeah. Okay.
You are not born that way. It is taught from a home, a mom, a dad, an aunt, a grandma, whatever it may be. You were taught because there's a lot of things out there, like this little girl. She had bought a doll, and it was a little, she was a darker complexion. Her doll was, and the little girl was white. And the cashier was like, "Oh, are you sure you want that doll?" And the little girl looked at her like, this is an article. It's an article.
Yeah,
and the little girl had looked at her like, yeah, like, why won't I want this doll? It's a doll and she's pretty. And the girl literally explained how they were similar. She said she's got pretty hair like me. She's got pretty eyes like me. She's got a pretty smile like me. Why can't I get her? And that shut the cashier up. The cashier. The cashier person. The cashier person was just like, okay. But my thing is, like, the kids don't see this type of stuff. All that is taught.
Absolutely.
So the whole racism just doesn't make sense to me. Because maybe it's because we're not racist. So if you are, why?
Yeah,
like I'm not gonna. Let me take that back. I'm not gonna judge you if you are, but I would like to know your reason. Why? Yes, there was conflict between races back then. I get that. But that conflict does not have to keep on going and going and going. All you're doing is repeating history. And
there's a good quote about that, and it's on my mind. I don't want to mess it up and say it wrong, but there's a quote that's...
My back itches.
There's a quote. What?
My back itches.
But if anybody know what I'm talking about, comment that, because I know that quote. I'm going to Google it as soon as I'm done with this. But
it's just, you're making history repeat itself.
Yes.
And that's ridiculous.
So, you got anything? Any more things you got on your mind?
I'm sorry, excuse me. No, I'm just mad now.
Yeah, I mean, a little upset, a little hot, a little heated, but
it's just, it doesn't, I don't know, I keep moving. It just doesn't make sense in my head. It's all this stuff, like, you're guilty. And you're still trying to get away with it. You're trying to make up some BS.
You ain't know, I'm telling you right now, you're guilty. There's no way you shouldn't be out right now. Amber's locked
I would honestly love to talk to these people and just say, what was going on in your head during the time that you committed the crime that you quote unquote did not commit. What was going on, and why? That's all I want to know. No, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not, because, like you said, people have their past. I understand. There's trauma that happens. That does not excuse you from murdering somebody. No. Absolutely not. Especially a kid who's just walking on the side. Especially a guy who's relaxing at his home. The last place you can possibly think of dying, of murder.
It's just crazy. The world is crazy, and
the world we're living in is something else.
Yeah.
And it's time to make a change.
Absolutely.
Somehow, some way. The change starts within a person. That's all it takes.
I want to, in the future, when we get this hopefully grows and become bigger, I got some good ideas and events that I want us to do.
Yeah.
That's going to bring people together.
It would be awesome.
People BSing, man. People BSing. People be 1 minute they want to be. People like to be about peace and change and unity only when it's, beneficial. But I'm about this 24/7. So I got some, I ain't, I ain't even want to, I don't want to go on this. I ain't want to say nothing. I ain't going to say that. Because I was about to speak on how.
No.
Yeah, I ain't even going to say nothing. I ain't going to bash nobody. But we would really want to hear your thoughts on this topic. Like, we had the original question of, do you believe or think that Zimmerman was innocent? Why or why not?
Was it self-defense?
Was it self-defense or
so many questions?
Murder? for Amber now, the question is, do you feel like that she was wrong? Like,
just to think about her situation, it makes me laugh because it's ridiculous.
I don't even know the question for that because, like, all right, that's the question.
Put yourself in her situation.
How I broke it down. Explain how that happened. How could she possibly explain to me a way how she could possibly got into the wrong part, went to the wrong floor, looked down the hall, said this is mine, and walked in the wrong part.
Explain how that was an accident. There's the question. Explain how Amber's actions was an accident. And just the overall, I don't really know what the overall topic is here. It's just, it's, I don't really know anymore. People are just ridiculous.
It's just so much. And we had to record. I had to get this out because we had to get this out.
We've been talking about this for how long now? Like 2 to 3 days. We've been talking about the same exact topic almost every single night because it just won't leave our minds. Because, like, it's mind-blowing how people are like this and how people are just quick to jump on somebody's side and be like, oh, yeah, they're innocent. When there's proof that they're guilty. It's dumb. I don't know.
I'm done. I ain't got that to say. I just want to read these comments.
I want to hear other people's opinions,
We would love for y'all to watch the entire podcast, but if you want to skip through, just find the questions and answer them. That's all I want you to do because I want to hear the questions. I want to read it. I want you to explain this to me.
This one's kind of long.
It is long, but it was long for a good reason, for a powerful reason. It's so sad what happened to them. I hope they rest in peace. I hope the families have found
peace. And George Zimmerman, leave that family alone.
Zimmerman, I ain't even want to. What I want to say, I ain't even gonna say. Bro.
Go to your jail cell and go to sleep.
I'm a type of person. I ain't even gonna speak on that. I ain't gonna speak on the type of person I am. I believe, but personally, in the heat of the moment, yeah. But growing, understanding, being a psychology major, understanding life, understanding things. It's about accepting responsibility. I feel like this is just me. Please forgive me. But I believe in a person making a mistake. This is a great mistake, but making a mistake and forgiving a person. I think the family have, became with peace through forgiving him. But I believe in forgiving a person, but he kind of just taking that forgiveness and throwing it in your face, basically, because he's trying to sue for $100 million. But we ain't gonna go. But I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I was gonna leave it alone. So
we would love to hear your opinion, and if you'd like, you can share our podcast with your friends and family. I know this is kind of a topic that's another heated topic in a way. But we have other topics out there for y'all. And we have more coming up. Feel free to give us any ideas of any topics you would like for us to talk about. Maybe something lighthearted. I don't think we have talked about any lighthearted stuff in a minute now. But
so much stuff has been going on.
Yeah, so much stuff has been going on that, I don't know. But feel free to please comment any thoughts, opinions, anything. And if you have questions for us, feel free to email us. Our email is always in the description. And yeah, we have our Instagram as well if you want to stay tuned with anything going on with JTC stuff. That's it. That's all I've got.
That's all I got too. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode of the podcast.